Morning team. It's day 6 of quarantine here in downtown Sydney, Australia, and it's the sun has just risen. I've been awake since 2 a.m. with the jet lag. It's now just after 7. It's nearly 7:15, and I'm just going to collect my breakfast box at my door, so they don't knock on the door in the mornings. But we come out, and the breakfast box is on the ground. Here it is. So I collect the breakfast box. And sometimes when the food is hot, they'll knock on the door so that you can get it. And I take my little breakfast box, and there's always a little card that has an inspirational message for the day. So I'm just going to open the box now, just see if I can do this somehow. A little bit stuck today. And today we have, let's see if I can do that. Today we have Special K, orange juice, milk. We've got some, it's a bit hard. And we've got some yogurt and fruit. We've got a pear. And today I've got a little message on the card here. On the back it says, "One day closer." And it's a motivational card to try and help you get through this. And it's got some lovely Australian animals there. And then the message for today says, "The greatest joys in life are found not only in what we do and feel, but also in our quiet hopes and labours for others." And that's by Bryant McGill. So and I keep them up here. I don't know if you can see up there. So I keep all my little cards on the wall in front of the Sydney Harbour Bridge painting or print. And that's how we collect our food. We go to the door, and it's just outside the door, and sometimes they knock and sometimes they don't. I just want to point out that for the Australian citizens, the meals are free and they're very good. I absolutely have nothing to complain. I want for nothing. But I do want to point out that I feel incredibly guilty, and have from day one, that I'm getting food and I'm in a lovely hotel. All the hotels are different. They're not all like this one. That I'm in a really lovely hotel at the cost of the Australian government or the New South Wales state. And I know that there are people who are struggling to feed their families over this time, not only where I'm working in London, but also in Sydney. And it makes me feel very guilty that I'm having food provided for me and accommodation at the expense of the Australian government and the New South Wales state. And I clearly don't have the virus. I mean, it's only day 6, so symptoms could still present themselves, and I get checked every day. They ring and check on me every day, the medical teams, or the police will come and knock on the door. So I'm very aware that I am taking time away for the police and the armed forces. It's the Air Force that are downstairs, the Army and the Air Force, and I'm very aware, and I tell them all the time I'm so grateful that they're here to keep everyone safe. And we know why this is in operation, to keep everyone safe and to restrict the virus, the movement of the virus. But it's at great cost to the Australian government and to each state individually. But I'm aware that I'm sort of feel like I'm wasting their time by being here. The police and the armed forces and the medical teams looking after not only myself, but obviously thousands of other Australian citizens coming into the country. So that's really hard for me to cope with, and that was what I felt on day one. Absolutely felt that on day one, that these people should be doing their real jobs rather than sort of, looking after us and making sure we're looked after. I feel I'm taking time away from their real jobs, whether it's in the air for the Air Force or, on land for the Army, and they're supposed to be doing what they need to be doing, whatever their current position is. So I'm still grateful again. I've written to the Australian Prime Minister and also the Premier of New South Wales to thank them both for my time in quarantine. It's not a problem for me. I know it might be a problem for other people, and they get lots of complaints, but I'm not complaining. I've got nothing to complain about at all. Nothing. I will look forward to a breath of fresh air when I leave the building, and some fruit and veggies when I get out, some salad. because it's outsourced to a catering company that do the catering, and you just get what you're served. You don't get to pick and choose. Obviously there's medical requirements requested, so I have to have a oily food diet, so I get a non-oily food diet. But I'm incredibly grateful, and I just want to keep saying that because I am, and I know the cost involved in all of this. So thanks again, everybody. Enjoy your day.